Face the flag. Put your right hand on your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Order, colors. Order, march. Color, right, face. Color, forward, march. Left, 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 right. Left, 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 right. Left, right.
Please be seated. Please welcome the Councilwoman of the 6th District of the City of Los Angeles, Nuri Martinez.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I don't think you're awake. Good morning. Good morning. Isn't it a glorious day in the 7th District this morning? Yes, it is. We are truly blessed. I want to recognize a couple of dignitaries that are with us this morning. Congressmember Tony Cárdenas, can you please stand up for a big round of applause? We also have Assemblymember Raúl Bocanegra. We also have Councilmember Joe Fajardo from the City of San Fernando. And I know I have a list. Actually, this is when you come to the stage and present me with the list. Thank you very, very much. And we also have Kathleen Barger from the County of the County of Los Angeles. Can you please rise, Supervisor? Kathleen Barger. We also have former council member from the 12th District, Greg Smith. Are you here, Greg? Thank you for being here. Former Chief of Staff of Council District 12, John Lee. Our General Manager of General Services, Tony Royster. From Labor's Local 300, Sergio Rascon. Our General Manager from Building and Safety, Frank Bush. Public Works Commissioner, Joe Jacinto. Public Works Commissioner, Luz Rivas, who I saw earlier. General Manager of ITA, Ted Ross. General Manager of Street Services, Nazario Saucedo. DWP Commissioner, Bill Funkenberg. Can you stand, Bill, please? Our latest Commissioner at DWP, Aura Vasquez. Welcome. Planning Director, Vince Bertoni. Are you here? General Manager from Planning. Of course, our dear friend, Attorney General Javier Becerra. Our Secretary of State, Alex Padilla. Is he here yet? There he is. Is that Alex? There's Alex, mini Alex. And our City Controller, Ron Galpin. Is he here? He's not here. We also are joined by several of our colleagues on the City Council. Of course, everyone knows Council President Herb Wesson. Councilmember Joe Buscaino from Pedro. Councilmember Mitch Englander. Councilmember Curran Price. And I think I have everyone on the council. Well, good morning. As you have heard me say this before, I have been waiting for this day for a long 4 years. And it's truly, truly an honor to be asked to give the welcoming. Oh, another person. Carrie McCarthy, Member of Parliament from the United Kingdom. Please welcome. Please stand up. Terry McCarthy. What an honor to have you, and welcome to the city of Los Angeles. Go big or go home. See how we show up for Monica. You know, when I was growing up here in the San Fernando Valley, and Monica can attest to this, there was at least 5 women on the LA City Council when I was growing up. We had women like Wendy Gruhl, Jan Perry, Janice Hahn, Jackie Goldberg, Joy Pikes, and so many others. And before I was elected, there were 16 women who had served on the Los Angeles City Council. And on July 2nd, we finally got a second woman to join me on the LA City Council. But not only is that noteworthy, but also she is the 3rd Latina to ever serve on the Los Angeles City Council. And what an honor it is to be that we are happy to have 2 Latinas from the San Fernando Valley. Monica is who she is. She not only lives here, grew up here, raising her family and kids here, but she walks the walk. And she makes sure that the services and the advocacy that is needed for her residents are something that she carries with her every single day. You know, I often say you can't be what you can't see. And our little girls are going to know that there's going to be 2 strong Latinas serving them and everyone else in the city of Los Angeles from the Northeast San Fernando Valley. And little boys and little girls from across this beautiful city will know that there will be 2 moms, 2 champions, 2 women from the Northeast Valley advocating for them, advocating for families, and making sure that our kids have a beautiful upbringing and have many things to be able to look forward to here in the city of Los Angeles, because we grew up here and we're very, very honored to represent the community of the Northeast San Fernando Valley. I often say that there's something in the water at San Fernando High School, because Monica and I graduated from San Fernando High School, Tony Cardenas graduated from San Fernando, Raul Bocanegra and Alex Padilla. And often it's said, and I joke about it, there's something in the water. Because the amount of leaders that have come out of San Fernando High School is something that we should all be very, very proud of. Let's give it up to the Tigers of San Fernando High School. And the experience of having to grow up in this area and having to go to some of our public schools is what makes Monica so special. Monica didn't have to move into the 7th district. Monica wasn't imported from another community. Monica grew up in the Northeast San Fernando Valley, where she was raised by her parents, where she has made a commitment to raise her family, where her husband works in this community. And nothing is more special than to come back to your district and say, you know what, I went to that elementary school. I went to that middle school. Or I know your family because we grew up together and we used to play, in the middle of the street when you could, and be safe. And we have all those experiences growing up in this Northeast San Fernando Valley. There is a lot of work to do, ladies and gentlemen, but no one is up for the job than my friend Monica Rodriguez. And with that, I just want to say congratulations to your family, to your amazing parents. I've said this to you over and over again. We are an extension and a reflection of who our parents are. And nothing gives me more joy than to see the smiles on your parents and to know they're so proud of you like so many of us are. My friend, we are going to do amazing work together on the LA City Council. I'm so proud of you. Go get them. Monica Rodriguez, thank you so much for allowing me to say thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Las Joyas Divinas del Valle.
Good morning. Please welcome to the stage Joyas Divinas del Valle. Today we will be performing dances from the region of Sinaloa. Our group was founded by Eli Alvarez and LAPD officer Claudia de la Cruz. The group is directed by Cindy Padilla. We would like to welcome you to City Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez's swearing-in ceremony. We are very honored to be part of this special day and would like to congratulate her. Thank you for being a role model for all our future leaders. Have a wonderful day and thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Attorney General of the State of California, Javier Becerra.
Good morning. Buenos dias. Nuri, something tells me that the LA City Council is going to look a lot more like the Joyas Folklórico in the near future than, So, Councilwoman Martinez was on fire, and that's probably why she was wearing that red dress. And I'm going to try to keep it nice and hot because the day is appropriate. We are here to celebrate because something great did happen in the City Council. Not only did we get a fighter to join with Nuri and her colleagues, but we got someone who really knows this area well. And as Nuri said, really does intend to represent the place that she grew up. And that's amazing. But you know what's interesting is, it's not as if this is new to Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez to be a champion. It's in her DNA to provide public service, right? Look at her father, a Vietnam veteran, a decorated firefighter, sister who's a teacher, brother who's a police officer. Service runs in the family. It's in the DNA for her to do this. And her daughter didn't do too bad a job either. I think maybe there's another generation that may be coming up the ranks pretty soon, so who knows? All I know is that it is great when you know that providing service to people runs in the blood of your elected leaders. And the people of Northeast Los Angeles are very fortunate to have in Monica Rodriguez someone who has it in her blood. Now, it's not just that it's someone who has it in her blood and has it in her DNA, but Monica mixes that, and she must go to the high school or San Fernando High School all the time to drink some more of that water, because it's one of those things where it seems like for her, it doesn't stop. And why should it? When you come from a family where immigrants were part of life, where giving service was part of life, where struggling but making success out of very little is part of life, the sky's the limit. And so for Monica now to be in the City Council, it's just part of that. But let me just urge you right now to keep in mind, you have a leader. And City Council is but one step in that road of proving her leadership, not just for the city of LA, but for the state of California, and I hope for the United States of America into the future. You have a leader for whom the sky is the limit. And Monica reminds me of something that one of our country's great leaders would always say. Nancy Pelosi, who was the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, who I had the great privilege to serve under for many years, used to say, the truth is, when women succeed, America succeeds. And if you think about it, the fastest growing demographic of business people in America, women of Latino background. And so let me tell you something. When Latinas succeed, America succeeds. And I think you're going to find that here in the San Fernando Valley, you're going to have a very successful American who's going to move forward an agenda for all the people in her neighborhoods. And finally, let me just say this. I am very fortunate as the 33rd Attorney General for the state of California to try to represent and defend and support the most forward-leaning state in the nation. We are moving forward. We're not looking back. We're doing things that some states won't do for another generation, and we're showing the way. And let me tell you something. It is important to always have with you leaders who understand that we don't want to go back to the old days, because our kids need to know what's in the future. And you need to have folks who are forward-leaning. And let me tell you, in Monica Rodriguez, you have someone who leads with experience. You have someone who leads with values. You have someone who leads with optimism. But more importantly, and I think you're going to understand this one, Monica Rodriguez leads with ganas. And if you haven't yet learned the word G-A-N-A-S, look it up, because there is nothing like it when you have the tenacity, the willpower, the belief to just always move forward fearlessly. Then you'll understand the definition of a leader like Monica Rodriguez. You are very fortunate. You voted wisely. You are going to love what you're going to see. And get ready. She keeps drinking that water at that high school. She is going to move. Monica Rodriguez, your city councilwoman in the 7th District of Los Angeles City, get ready. She's going to lead. I am proud to be one of her backers and one who will say, I've got your back. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President of the Los Angeles City Council, Herb Wesson.
Morning, morning, morning. Let's give it up for our Attorney General. And he is right. California is progressive, and California is driving and leading this great nation. But guess who's leading California? LA. Let's give it up for us. Give it up for us. Okay, Monica's already put me to work. So I want to announce we've got with us School Board Member Kelly Gonez. Where are you? Former Assembly Member Mike Gatto. Former Council Member Mike Hernandez. From Glendale Council Member Janian. Our department head for the Convention Center, Don Liu. Our Public Works President, Kevin James. And our great DWP commissioners, Mr. Funderburg and Gilles Bank Berard. Right? And if I forgot somebody, I apologize. Did I forget somebody? Let's give it up for Mayor Eric Garcetti. You know, just let me quickly say that in September I stepped in to be the caretaker of this district for about 9 to 10 months. And I want to say that I have made friendships here that will last to the day that I die. So I am so appreciative to the people of this district for helping me kind of hold down the fort until you elected Monica Rodriguez. And I have been in this business for a long time. And I used to tell people that there is not a question or a concern that I have not heard. You name it, I've heard it. The first day that I announced that I was going to be the caretaker for this very diverse 7th district, my first constituent complaint was about illegal hunting. I'm like, I'm from Washington and Crenshaw. You know, we hunt at the grocery store. Now look, this was a very, very knockdown, drag out campaign. But we are Los Angeles. And at the end of the day, when the last vote is counted, we come together to put the members of our community first. And that's exactly what you did when you elected Monica Rodriguez, and the first thing that she recognized, that, believe it or not, the election, that was the easy part. The difficult part is governing. The hard part, the challenging part, is delivering services to the people that want them, need them, and expect them. And I have no doubt that Monica has the skill set, the experience, the relationships to deliver services to the community where she grew up and the community that she loves. 3 days after she was sworn in, was she and I and Ted Ross from our IT department were at partnering with the Housing Authority, giving away over 3,000 free computers and internet services to needy folk within the valley. 3 days on the job. That's the type of service that you're going to get from Miss Rodriguez. But she has the one intangible that all of the great elected leaders have, and that is a family that supports her, right or wrong. She's raised by great parents. She has raised great children. She has a phenomenal husband. And at the end of the day, it is your family that keeps you in check. Because she's the second or the third Latina on council. She is the new councilwoman for this district. And everywhere she goes, people are going to be asking her to do things. She's going to be excited, but it's her family that will keep her grounded. I'll tell you a quick little story. For those of you that follow my history, I was the Speaker of the California State Assembly. That means if something happened to the governor and something happened to the President Pro Tem, then I was governor. The two of them would never fly on the same plane again. They were worried about me. But we were at an event. They said, oh no. Some of you got it just far. But you have to stay grounded. Everywhere I go, Speaker of the Assembly, Speaker of the California State Assembly. I was at a big address. It was 1,000 people there. They asked my wife to introduce me, and she said, I do want to introduce my husband, the Speaker of the California State Assembly, but I want all of you to know that I am the Speaker of the House. And so my brother, Raul, stand up, Raul. My brother will make sure that he keeps her grounded. We are so excited to have you on this council, and we look for great, great things. And you have to give a nod to the mayor, but in particular, ladies and gentlemen, somebody who woke up every morning thinking about how can I get Monica elected. Somebody who went to bed every night, how can I get Monica elected? Somebody who committed to increase the number of women on the Los Angeles City Council. Please give her another round of applause. And that's Nuri Martinez, the first Latina Assistant President Pro Tem of the City Council. So I am honored to be here today, honored to be a part of this program today, and will say to all of the people that are here, your council hears you, your council understands you. We are LA, we are a big city, we do big things. That's who we are, that's how we roll. Monica Rodriguez will be an integral part of this council. God bless us. God bless all of you. Let's have a great swearing in ceremony.
And now, please welcome the mayor of the city of Los Angeles, the Honorable Eric Garcetti.
Good morning. Muy buenos dias. And let me say something about my brother, Herb Wesson, first. There has been no council president, I think, in this city's history, and we've looked back pretty far, and mayor who have gotten along as well as the two of us. He is my brother. He has worked so seamlessly with me that even though he was elected by his peers and I got to vote for him before I left the city council, I would choose to serve with this man for years to come. And he knows the secession in Los Angeles also means that if anything happens to me, he becomes the mayor, which is why I always ask him to walk in front of me when we are together. I mean, I trust him, I just want to make sure he's a couple feet in front of me whenever we're together. And this state has no better attorney general, and I have no closer friend in elected life than Javier Becerra. Somebody who has been there for me, somebody who is the incarnation of everything we want to see, and who is fearless, strategic, and fighting the most important battles this nation and in turn this world needs. So thank you, Javier, for your leadership as well. And Javier, Nuri isn't just on fire today. She wakes up on fire, to be clear. She has to be doused on the way before she goes to bed, right? You know? And we are so proud of her leadership. To my colleagues on the city council, to Tony Cardenas and Alex Padilla. You know, the city of San Fernando never joined the city of LA. Do people know why? It's because they had their own source of water. So this mythical water for a long time has been here. It's one of the only reasons that we have this little island of San Fernando, the city. So this high school that has produced leader after leader, they haven't just produced leaders for the Northeast San Fernando Valley. Let me be clear, because we're not going to segregate this part of town off as if it's some sort of oddity or addition to the city. It may not be in the geographic heart of the city, but it is the heart of Los Angeles. You want to see the California dream? You want to see the American dream alive and well? Look at the elected representatives that are here, each one of them, whose parents tell a story. At a time when our nation is being told we are supposed to be fearful of immigrants, look to the immigrants who lead, and their children, and their children's children. And that's why what we are doing here today, with an extraordinary human being, an extraordinary woman, an extraordinary leader, a tenacious candidate, and somebody who will be a marvelous representative. And Monica Rodriguez is important for this neighborhood, important for this district, for this city, and for this nation to see. We don't fear immigrants. Immigrants are the strength of this city. We don't divide one another. We don't separate each other. We come together in this town. And at a moment when we open up the newspaper and turn on the television and we can't believe what we see, when division is the rule of the day, thank you for being about multiplication. And instead of subtraction, today is about addition. It is about what we bring together and who we are. Now there's family that you're given, and I've been very blessed to be given an amazing family, from my parents and my sister to my wife and our beautiful daughter, to our foster children and my cousins and everybody. But then there's family that you find. And Monica has been part of my family. And Raul and your children are part of a family that we found, and when you find it, you know it. When I needed you, you were there. And when you said you were going to run, it wasn't even a split-second decision. You knew that I and the large Garcetti family, who you continue to hire, and we love that, because the family, you know, it's kind of like a royal marriage. If you marry together with the Duke of Austria, you're tied forever. We will always be part of your family. And Raul, Amy couldn't be here this morning, and I know we'll see each other later on today, but being the first spouse is tough. And I hope everybody here will sustain this man, because what he is being asked, because we've asked Monica to step up and serve us, is going to be increased. When the campaign's over, it wasn't over, it just began. And we love you and who you are and what you have poured into this campaign, and the support you have for your family is amazing. So I want to ask you all, will you support Raul in our efforts? Yeah? I think you just got about 500 babysitters, so you just, you know. Not that you guys need babysitting anymore. Let me say one last thing. I grew up in the San Fernando Valley. In the 6th and 7th council districts, my grandmother, Juanita, reminds me so much. A strong woman who was born into a family of 19 children. The same two parents, in case you're curious. My bisabuela was done at 37, having kids, if you can do the math on that one. And like our parents, toiled so hard. She was a meat packer who woke up for a 3 a.m. shift and then came home and got dinner ready. I don't know when she slept. But to see two Latinas here, in this part that is the heart of this city, who are able to inspire my Latina daughter to see, as you said, what you see you can make possible. And all of the girls in this city, let's not rest on our laurels for a moment. Let's celebrate doubling, but let's still say 2 out of 15 is not acceptable, right? Let us all work to make sure that on the school board, as we've elected women, the county board of supervisors, where it's 4 out of 5, they put us to shame. We've still got our work to do. And the very final thing I want to say is Monica at the beginning of this race bought a pair of shoes and we had a conversation. And she walked and walked and walked. I gave her one piece of advice. All of us who have been lucky enough to be successful in a campaign, say, wear out that shoe leather, personally. It's not something somebody else can do. There's only one thing that you own that nobody else has, and that's your story. The story of your family, the story of your mother and father, the story of the love of your life, the story of your children, and the story of where you will go. Where you will take this district and where you will lead this city, because every council member is a citywide leader, make no mistake, through the committees that they serve on, the budget that they go through. They often talk about the poetry of campaigns and the prose of governing. That everything is butterflies and unicorns and nice promises when you're out there on the campaign trail. And then, as you mentioned, Council President, you suddenly have to govern. I'd like to think that local government is the opposite. And I think you've experienced the prose of a campaign. It can be intense. Door to door, things that are said, folks that are overly enthusiastic on all sides. You wonder if that healing will ever happen. The healing starts with the love that you lead with, and the poetry begins today. The poetry that one person who has been waiting for years to have that sidewalk fixed because their wheelchair can't get over that every single day. That person who every single day has been wondering, can I get a job for my child in the city of Los Angeles, and the work that you've done in public works to make sure that we create a middle class here. The folks that are paying more than half of their income on rent every single day, who you will build affordable housing to help them move forward. That, my friends, is poetry. And at the end of our days, we're left with two things: who we knew and what we did. I'm so proud to know you. I know you are so proud to serve these folks who you know, and what you do will be not just great, it will be good for all of us. Felicidades, congratulations, we love you.
Next, to perform the oath of office, the Executive Director of the Vaughn Next Century Learning Center and Councilwoman Rodriguez's third grade teacher, Anita Zepeda.
Good morning. I want to start that I was a real young teacher. I want to put a plug in for our school. It's a fairly new high school. So we will soon, you will soon be seeing leaders from Vaughn International Studies Academy come forward too. And you're going to see them from Cesar Chavez, and you're going to see them from all of our high schools, Silmar, all of them in our area and throughout the city and throughout the state and our nation, because of all of you. Because they get to see role models now that they didn't see before. They didn't look like me, but they do now. Thank you for that. First of all, I want to start that it is a great honor to be here to honor this and swear in this very special lady. And as was mentioned, I had the pleasure of first meeting Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez. As an 8-year-old pistol, fireball that entered my classroom and quickly took it over. She was always a super high achiever. She held all of her peers accountable, quickly took over my job of making sure they did their homework, that they behaved. If not, they were going to stay in for recess. And I said, okay. You know, she should have probably gotten part of my pay. As an educator, we always strive, first of all, not only to make sure that we teach them the skills and knowledge we're responsible to teach, but more importantly, to impart in them the importance of going after their dreams, making sure that they achieve them, that we're there to support them, and that they give back, that they do not forget to come back and give back, make sure that they make a difference in their city, their town, the state, and basically the world, that they leave a footprint that will make a difference for others. I get to have that honor today and actually that ability to witness that today. I am so very proud of Monica. Proud the day she left and I prepared her to move on to 4th grade. Proud when she invited me to her high school graduation. And then as she searched me out throughout her different career and let me know how wonderfully she was doing, I got to see firsthand, wow, she did go out and do what we all work so hard to make sure that we impart in our kids. The constituents of the 7th District, all of you that are here today, thank you. You did a great job, a great choice, because I have absolutely no doubt that she's going to hold everyone accountable in making a difference for the 7th District, for our city of Los Angeles, and for our world. Thank you, Monica, for being a part of my life. I am so proud of you.
And now, representing the communities of Pacoima, Lakeview Terrace, Sunland Tahunga, Mission Hills, North Hills, Shadow Hills, and Silmar, the Councilwoman of the 7th District of the City of Los Angeles, Monica Rodriguez.
All right, my dear, are you ready?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Repeat after me. I, Monica Rodriguez, do solemnly swear
I, Monica Rodriguez, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Charter of the City of Los Angeles,
and the Charter of the City of Los Angeles,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
as a member of the Los Angeles City Council
as a member of the Los Angeles City Council
according to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations!
I am absolutely overwhelmed
this morning. And Miss Anita, and everyone has to know, I call her Miss Anita because when you find out your teacher's first name when you're an 8-year-old, it's a big deal. Right? So I've never been able to call her anything since. Miss Anita represents one of the many individuals that helped get me here today. And she's right. I absolutely reached out to her at every step of my career to let her know how I was doing and to check in, because there are so many selfless teachers that give of themselves, that create the next generation of leadership. And I wanted her to know that she should own every single part of the success that I've endured over the course of my career, and I'm so grateful for you to be a part of this. And I also want to acknowledge Dr. Yvonne Chan, who's a force to be reckoned with, my former assistant principal from Sharp Avenue Elementary School, founder of Vaughn Charter Academy. These ladies are representative of the need for members of our community that at times when we didn't get the outcomes that we were seeking, they took matters into their own hands and they changed the way we thought about our community. And I'm so grateful for your example of leadership, and thank you so much for being here with me this morning. Oh, gosh, I am just incredibly overwhelmed this morning to see all of you here. So many of you, you are all a part of this victory. You are all a part of this moment with me and my family. And I am just completely overwhelmed by everything. I had to prepare for the first time an actual speech, because anyone that knows me knows that I am someone that it comes organically, but I've had to prepare remarks because I didn't want to miss an opportunity to thank so many of you that were instrumental in me being here today. It's just an incredible show of support. So many of you representing different parts of my life and my career, and I carry all of you with me on this incredible journey. Mayor, you and the First Lady have been incredible friends and family. And I'm grateful for your support and your friendship and your mentorship, and affording me the opportunity to serve as one of your commissioners that allowed me to better prepare myself to take on the leadership role that I have been blessed to be afforded today. So thank you so much for that. To our amazing Attorney General, Javier Becerra. I had the great fortune of getting to meet Javier. It was the first campaign I worked on when I was 18 years old at a freshman at Occidental College to work on his first campaign for Congress. And I've been blessed to call him a friend and a mentor ever since. Thank you so much for making the great trek at 6 a.m. to take a flight from Sacramento to be here on this momentous occasion with me. Thank you so much for your friendship. Council President Wesson, my sister, Councilwoman Nuri Martinez, and my colleagues on the Los Angeles City Council. Many of you drove from very far distances to be here with me this morning. Joe in particular. Thank you all so much for your friendship, for your mentorship, for supporting me in the transition into this new role, for having my back. When things got tough, you didn't get going. You stuck it out with me, and I'm grateful for your friendship, and I look forward to the great things we're going to accomplish together for our community. Thank you so much. You know, here in the Northeast Valley, we are a hardworking group of families, people that have dedicated their lives to being committed to be of service, to watch out for one another. My story is not unique in that it's reflected in many of the examples that we have of people that were raised and are raising their families here in this community. I'm the daughter of Mexican immigrants. My father, after serving as a green card veteran at Vietnam, came home to that very first opportunity, that union job at the General Motors plant that afforded so many families that opportunity for a middle-class lifestyle, to become homeowners and provide us that opportunity for the American dream. He then went on to become one of the first Latino firefighters in the city of Los Angeles as a result of the adoption of the consent decree. That opportunity gave my sister and I the first in our family to go to college, and to help achieve our greatest potential. And I'm so grateful for the example that my family has led to get me to where I am today. And Mom and Dad, I just want to say thank you for everything that you've ever given me and sacrificed for our family. I love you both very much. And thank you for everything that you did for me. Would you please stand? The legacy of the Northeast San Fernando Valley is something that we all treasure and something that we need to protect, because it's examples like what my family has lived that we need to afford for other families in the Northeast. We have to be able to fulfill that promise of optimism and ensure that other people can have the same trajectory for success that was afforded me and my family. I'm so blessed to have been afforded the greatest example of two selfless individuals that knew what it meant to sacrifice for the benefit of community. And I stand before you today committed to making sure that this district finally gets the representation and the respect and the service delivery that it deserves. We're at a time very unique in the city of Los Angeles, where we finally have an opportunity to connect ourselves in the Northeast to a larger transportation system that is finally going to connect us to the rest of the city. And while we continue to evolve and grow into the 21st century, we need to make sure that we never lose sight of who we are and protecting the very things that we are so proud of in the Northeast. From the cultural activity that we have from our muralists and our activists in the community, like the Ollas Folklorico Group. Making sure that we protect that rich culture that we have here is something unique to the Northeast San Fernando Valley, and something that we will continue to celebrate as we go on into bringing in some of the most incredible things that we have yet to see for this community. I want to make sure that we shepherd in more jobs into our community, jobs that we have not seen since we've had the departure of manufacturing in this district. We're going to be working collaboratively with our partners in labor. I want to thank Sergio Rascon for being here with me today.
Sir.
The middle class dream is not something that I will be able to deliver alone. And I look forward to creating more partnerships and collaborations to help apprentice and train more youth so that they can have access to that middle class dream and provide that first opportunities for their family to have the same success that I've been able to achieve in my career. So I want to thank you so much for your friendship and your partnership, and I look forward to growing more opportunities for the people of the Northeast San Fernando Valley with you. You know, during the campaign, we hear a lot about the things that we've been shortchanged. The conditions of our sidewalks, the conditions of our roads, our trees. And these are the very basic services that I've made a career in being successful in shepherding in many parts of this city. And I look forward to delivering those same things to our community. But more importantly, it's about thinking broader. Because I truly believe in these positions, we are only limited by our imagination. And for us, it's going to be incredibly important to pull together at a time when many people have been very successful in dividing our communities. We're going to be united in making sure that this district finally gets the respect and the dignity that it deserves. And I look forward to working alongside each and every one of you, because while this campaign just recently concluded, it has only just begun in my world. And I've known that after a career in public service, that the most successful individuals are successful because of the collaborations that they've built and the support that they get in the community. So I want to say to those community members that are here with me today that I'm some of the new friends, and I see some shiny faces in the crowd. Thank you all so much for being here. But I want you to know that our work has just begun. And I look forward to partnering with you to identify and prioritizing some of the work that we're going to get started on. But more importantly, what I want to share is that I am so proud to have assembled one of the most dynamic teams in the city's history to help us fulfill that greater vision. And I want to take a moment to acknowledge the staff that I've assembled today, led by Christine Jarian and Doug Tripp, and so many. Roughly a third of my staff is from the community. We all have roots here, and we are all equally committed to making sure that we get the kind of services that we deserve. And make no mistake, this is a team that's going to deliver it, and we're all going to deliver it together. And so I want to thank you all so much for your partnership with me as well, to making sure that this district gets the respect that it deserves. And right now, with housing costs on the rise, as someone who led the state's only affordable housing trust fund, I look forward to, in my role as a vice chair on the Committee for Homeless and Poverty, to assure that more families are going to help to achieve the dream of having an affordable house to call home. And I look forward to partnering with you to help make that a reality. These are dreams that are escaping more and more families every day. And the lack of affordable housing creates a complex and unstable environment for our local economy. It is really important that we help to assure that more families have a safe home that will help to create the kind of community and quality of life that we will all be proud of. And I look forward to many of the residents in this district working alongside me to help make that dream a reality for many families that right now are going without. We have a number of challenges ahead of us, but make no mistake, this is a community and a district that is rich in activism, rich in passion, rich in talent, and as Nuri mentioned, rich in trailblazing leadership. From individuals like Congressman Tony Cardenas and Secretary of State Alex Padilla, Assemblymember Raul Bocanegra, and Councilwoman Nuri Martinez. I'm very proud to be one of the leaders of this community that is going to help fulfill our greatest potential. And I want to share this really wonderful fact that was shared with me recently by my very good friend, Councilman Greg Smith, was that in the city of Los Angeles, since its founding, there have been 11 million people to call the city of Los Angeles home. Roughly 450 have had the pleasure and the honor and distinction of serving on the Los Angeles City Council. 3 have been Latinas. I am proud to be the 3rd Latina on the Los Angeles City Council in the city's history. And I happen to love the fact that 2 are from the Northeast San Fernando Valley, and that I am the first for this district. I look forward with a tremendous sense of pride and passion and honor to assure that our district gets all that it deserves, but more importantly, that we pave the way for more people to be the leaders from this community, because this is not something that we will ever achieve alone. And our sustainability of the progress that we make is incumbent upon all of us continuing to work together. So I want to thank you all so much for your partnership, for your friendship, and I look forward to making the 7th District all that it is to be. So thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for your support. I love you all very much. Thank you.
We will conclude today's program with a benediction given by Father Michael Ume. He is joined by Reverend Abel Lorera, Pastor John Chandler, Reverend Kathy Cooper Ledesma, Father Avedis Abovian, and Deacon Stephen Hovagimian.
I just want to say that 20 years ago, when I met Monica and Raul, when they entered the office, they wanted to get married. I looked at Raul. Raul was so shy. I was afraid whether he would ever survive this. 20 years after that, we had lunch. Monica was so shy that I was beginning to wonder what happened. Then I noticed that one of the big gifts of Monica is the power of transformation. It transforms Raul into something wonderful. And she can transform people, society, and groups. And so we pray. Almighty and eternal Father, it is your gracious will, it is your wonderful mercy that you have chosen this wonderful lady to serve your people with a great heart, with a great enthusiasm, and with great strength. Today, just as Solomon asked for wisdom, we ask you, Almighty Father, to bless her with wisdom and to bless also her colleagues with wonderful wisdom and all our leaders with wisdom. The wisdom to know what is right and to know what is wrong. The wisdom to lead the people in the right direction. The wisdom to unite us. And the wisdom to help us to be the best we are for our neighbors, for our community. Almighty God, continue to bless her and to protect her and her family. Protect her from danger, protect the family from any danger. When they run to you, let them feel your presence in their life and in their family. To all the members and all the citizens of this district, Almighty God, give the spirit of unity, the spirit of togetherness, and the spirit of visioning together. Almighty God, we surrender this wonderful lady, her family, and the whole of this district into your hand. And we ask you to lead with your spirit, with your light into the future. We ask all this through Christ our Lord. Amen.